What happens when two powerhouse women clash on live television in the most unexpected way possible? Today, we're diving into the shocking moment that left audiences speechless and sent social media into absolute chaos. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments, because you won't believe how this unfolded. The show began as usual. Kelly Clarkson greeted her audience with her signature warm smile, the golden studio lights giving everything a familiar glow. Across from her sat Thurman, the legendary actress whose piercing presence has captivated fans for decades. What should have been a routine promotional interview was about to turn into one of the most unforgettable moments in daytime television. "Uma, it's so wonderful to have you here," Kelly began warmly. "I have to say, watching you in Pulp Fiction again recently, I was struck by how that role really changed everything for you." Uma shifted in her chair, her eyes tightening almost imperceptibly. "Well, Kelly, I think it's important to understand that reducing an actor's entire career to one role, even a significant one, can be quite limiting." Kelly's smile faltered for just a split second. "Oh, I didn't mean to reduce anything. I just meant it was such an iconic performance that really showcased your range." "But that's exactly what you did," Uma replied evenly. Her tone edged just enough to make the audience shift uncomfortably. "You opened with that film because it's what most people know me for, the safe reference point." Sensing the tension rising, Kelly tried to pivot. "I think our viewers would love to hear about your newest project. You're starring in a thriller that sounds fascinating." Uma leaned forward slightly, her voice sharpening. "Are you sure they want to hear about that, Kelly? Or would they prefer gossip? My personal life, my relationships? That's what usually sells." Kelly blinked, still trying to keep her tone friendly. "I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at." "Oh, I think you understand perfectly," Uma pressed. "Let's talk about how women of a certain age are interviewed differently than men, how we're expected to be grateful for any opportunity, while men get to discuss their craft." The audience was dead silent now. Producers gestured frantically behind the cameras, but Kelly kept going. "I genuinely want to hear about your work. Whatever you'd like to share." "My work," Uma echoed bitterly. "Do you know how many times I've been asked about my work, only for the conversation to steer toward men I've worked with or my appearance? Rarely the craft itself." Kelly clasped her hands tightly in her lap, holding on to composure. "I want to focus on your craft. I've always admired your performances, your choices as an actor." "Then why start with Pulp Fiction?" Uma challenged. "Why not mention my theater work, my producing credits, the independent films I've championed? Why always the one film opposite a male lead who gets asked about his process while I get asked about my hair?" Kelly took a deep breath. "You're right. I apologize if my question came across the wrong way. Could you tell us about your role as a producer?" "Now we're getting somewhere," Uma said, though her tone remained sharp. "Though I wonder if you're only asking because I called you out." The energy in the studio grew heavier. Kelly's warmth strained under pressure, her voice trembling slightly as she replied, "I'm genuinely interested in all aspects of your career." "Including the uncomfortable ones?" Uma pushed. "The times I've spoken up about inequality, about how women are treated in this business?" Kelly's smile was thinning fast. "Of course." Uma narrowed her eyes. "I wonder if that's true. Are you prepared for a real conversation, or would you prefer to stick to the sanitized version that keeps everyone comfortable?" The camera crew exchanged uneasy glances. Kelly steadied herself. "I'm always interested in real conversations. That's what this show is about." "Is it?" Uma countered, her voice rising. "Because from where I sit, this looks like another platform designed to make celebrities safe and palatable. Nothing too real." Kelly's jaw tightened. "I think you're underestimating what we do here." "Am I?" Uma leaned back with a knowing smile. Then let's test that theory. Let's talk about the real Uma Thurman, not the version packaged for daytime television. Kelly sat up straighter, media training battling with frustration. I'd love to hear that, but our audience deserves respect too. They tune in for uplifting content. Uplifting? Uma repeated with disdain. You mean content that doesn't make them think too hard. I mean content that doesn't tear people down unnecessarily, Kelly shot back, steel flashing in her voice. There's a difference between honesty and hostility. Uma's smile darkened. Hostility, Kelly? You have no idea what hostility looks like. This is called honesty. If that makes you uncomfortable, maybe you should ask yourself, why? By now, the studio felt like a pressure cooker. Kelly steadied her trembling hands and spoke firmly. I'm not uncomfortable with honesty, but I won't use my platform to attack people who haven't done anything wrong. Attack? Uma laughed coldly. If you think this is an attack, you've led a sheltered life. This is a conversation, one that strayed from your talking points. We don't script conversations here, Kelly said sharply. Everything is organic. Organic? Uma sneered. Like the way you organically opened with Pulp Fiction? Or tried to steer us back to safer topics when things got real? I was trying to be respectful of your time and give you a platform, Kelly retorted. My work, Uma repeated, leaning forward. The film I'm here to promote is about a woman who refuses to be silenced, who refuses to play by men's rules. Sound familiar? Kelly's eyes flashed. I think you're reading too much into a simple interview format. Or maybe I'm reading it exactly as it is, Uma countered. Their voices grew sharper, rising and falling like blows in a sparring match. Kelly's patience was unraveling, while Uma's intensity only burned hotter. The audience leaned forward, transfixed, as if watching a live duel. Finally, Kelly's warmth snapped. She stood abruptly, her chair rolling backward. Gasps echoed through the studio. You've spent the last 20 minutes attacking me on my own show, she said fiercely. I'm not attacking you, Uma replied coolly. I'm challenging you to be more than the sanitized version of yourself. You think insulting my career makes me better? Kelly demanded, voice cracking with emotion. I think waking you up to reality might be the most honest conversation. You've had here, Uma shot back, rising to her feet as well. The two women now stood across from each other, the air between them charged like a storm. You know what your problem is? Kelly pressed, her voice deadly calm. You think being difficult makes you profound. You think creating conflict makes you important. And you think being agreeable makes you authentic, Uma snapped. Their words sliced through the silence, leaving the audience breathless. Kelly's voice grew harder, more determined. You want reality, Uma? Here it is. You're a guest in my space, using my platform to tear me down. That's not courage. That's disrespect. For the first time, Uma's composure cracked. Her voice wavered slightly. I came here to have an honest conversation, something that seems impossible in spaces like this. Kelly's laugh was sharp now. There's nothing honest about what you've done. You've attacked my integrity and called it honesty. I've challenged you to be more, Uma retorted, though her conviction faltered. The battle raged on until finally something shifted. Uma's voice quieted, vibrating with restrained fury. You're right. This conversation isn't going where either of us intended. No, it's not. Kelly agreed coldly. Uma stepped back, her decision clear. I think we're done here. She turned, heels clicking against the floor like the countdown of a clock. Thank you for having me. I hope your audience got the authentic conversation they deserved. Without another word, Uma Thurman walked off the set. Kelly stood frozen for a moment before slowly sinking back into her chair. The studio erupted into chaos, producers scrambling, audience members whispering in disbelief. Kelly stared at the empty seat across from her, the weight of what had just happened settling over the room. And there you have it. The most explosive daytime television moment in years. What do you think? Was Uma justified in her confrontational approach, or did she cross the line? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more shocking celebrity moments you won't see anywhere else.